Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa Fuentes and I'm so excited to share with you what I do for a living. The pros and cons to that, how I even got here. But anyways, so yeah, I am a prosecutor. I'm an attorney for the government, specifically the state of Texas. I didn't always want to be a lawyer. It kind of happened maybe late high school because during high school, I took a criminal justice class taught by Mr. Ortiz. He was a long-time state trooper, and so we learned a ton in his class, and he had a lot of insight and just experience to share. So that really kind of made me interested in the criminal justice field. I actually wanted to be a detective, but as many of you may know, when you want to be a detective, you have to do a couple years, patrol as a cop before you can get that position. So if you know me, if my friends could tell you, I'm a teeny tiny person. I'm only 5'2". I won't tell you how much I weigh, but I'm small. And so ultimately I decided that, being a police officer wasn't something I wanted to do. But anyway, so like I said, I started getting interested in the legal field and went off to college, got my bachelor's degree in criminology and criminal justice. I got that from the University of Texas at Arlington. And after college, I worked a little bit for a DA's office in Belton at the Bell County Justice Complex, where I assisted multiple lawyers. I got to put my hands on cases that were just, big, and I got to read, basically a bunch of craziness and just be able to help the lawyers, do their thing, prepare for court. So that really made me want to go off and actually do this stuff. I really admired those attorneys for, just their toughness and their ability to, just handle very stressful situations, to, again, see, that justice was done, help victims, put bad guys behind jail. And so that's what really solidified, my desire to go off to law school and be a prosecutor. So anyways, I went off to prosecutor school. What am I talking about? You do have to go to prosecutor school when you become a lawyer and you want to prosecute criminals. But anyways, I went off to law school. I went to Baylor Law School, where I got my Doctor of Law, or Juris Doctor, or Doctor of Jurisprudence. There's like 20 million names for it. But I got my law degree, and after that I took the bar exam, passed the bar exam, and became a lawyer. So let me go back and kind of tell you a little bit about my job itself. Right now I just got a new job, so I'm working in a whole new office than I was for the past 2.5 years. So I was actually for the past 2.5 years in the DFW area doing a variety of things, one of those being prosecuting criminals, but I focused on juvenile crimes. So people from the age of 10 to 16, those were the types of crimes I was dealing with. And then I was also dealing with all adult crimes, but the misdemeanor level. So let's see. Let me go back a little bit more. So when I said 10 to 16-year-old, I'm pretty sure some of you were like, oh my God, how can you prosecute a 10-year-old? But the juvenile justice system's a lot different from the adult. So a lot of times when you are dealing with a juvenile, your focus is to rehabilitate them and to fix them and to give them, the services and treatment they need, so that way they can, be productive, law-abiding citizens. Whereas with adults, obviously, as you may know, in Texas, we're pretty big on, punishing criminals for their wrongful acts. And so that's a whole different world. Anyways, part of my job up there was juvenile crimes, adult misdemeanors. I did protective orders. You might know that protective orders are needed whenever someone is in fear for their safety because they have either a family member or an ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that they're, scared of because they've been harming them. And then lastly, I dealt with mental health cases up there where, you have someone who's threatening to harm themselves. Either they're suicidal or they're threatening to harm someone else because of their own mental illness. And so we deal with them also in a different way than your average, criminal. So now I'm in McLennan County. I'm a district attorney here. I just moved here about a month ago, so unfortunately I don't have too much, to tell y'all about what I do on a daily basis. I'm for sure, looking at cases, making decisions on cases, going to court, But basically now I'm handling adult crimes, all the felony offenses. And so that ranges from, you know, your state jail felonies, which is the lowest felony you can commit, all the way up to, you know, your first degree or capital level felonies. My favorite part of my job, whether that be up there in DFW or here in McLennan County, my favorite part of the job is being able to help people. And I know that sounds super generic and just really boring and just like, okay, but truly, you know, when you get the phone call and it's like, you know, thank you so much for you know, basically helping and being my voice and advocating for me, and, you know, that makes the job, you know, as much stress as it comes along with, it makes it worth it. I really enjoy helping people. That's probably my favorite part of the job. My least favorite part of the job is, you know, all the negative things that you get to see or that you have to see as a result of working in this field. And that means, you know, you see people make really, really bad choices on a daily basis. You see people who may be, you know, otherwise decent, you know, people making mistakes. And the hardest part is having to hold them accountable. I mean, you really have to be you have to be strong. You do have to be really, really strong to do what I do, because, you know, you get put in very tough positions and you have to make decisions. That's probably the toughest part. It's probably my least favorite part is, you know, me having a good heart, me having, you know, empathy and being able to understand why people make bad choices, but still holding them accountable, you know, and sometimes it's absolutely necessary. You got people doing very, very bad things, and you have to see that every day, all day. And it starts to make you a little pessimistic about, you know, people in society. But like I said, you just got to be tough and keep pushing. And lastly, I'll tell y'all a little bit about the other jobs that work along with mine. So I'll kind of circle it back by telling y'all that, you know, I did want to be a detective. I did want to, you know, work law enforcement, but oddly enough, in becoming a prosecutor, not only did I get to become a lawyer, like I kind of, you know, also wanted, but I get to work with law enforcement every day. Every day. I get to interact with, you know, detectives and work on cases together, you know, to make sure that all the investigations were done. I also get to work with, you know, judges, other court staff, court reporters, bailiffs. You get to meet so many people, families, you know, of victims, the victims. You can even meet defendants' families. It's a really interesting career, and all I can say is I didn't think I could possibly make it here. I was very tough on myself in law school. I didn't think I was smart enough to do it. I probably called my mom every single day telling her that I was going to drop out, but I'm glad I didn't. I am so happy that I stuck to it. This is probably the best thing I could have ever done. I don't regret, you know, sticking to it and making sure that I knocked it out, because I'm really happy, and I can't see myself doing anything else. So I encourage you all to, you know, figure out what you're interested in. I do appreciate your time. If you have any questions, ask Ms. Summerhill and just send me a message, and hopefully I can answer any questions you have. Bye, y'all.